My name is Ola. I'm really glad that you can join me today on my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be talking about a very important topic that I believe will not just impact you today, but I believe it's going to impact those who are listening for the next few years. Just to kind of give you a brief introduction to who I am again, my name is Ola. I've been an accountant for over 15 years. And the reason why I'm starting my YouTube channel is because I believe I've been able to gain skills and knowledge over the years that I can share with you that will definitely help you to become more financially savvy and also to help you develop personally as well as an individual. The topic I'm going to be sharing with you today, I believe, is going to be very important. I'm going to be sharing with you today bookkeeping basics for small business owners. Now, this video is for you if you've already got a business and you really looking for more knowledge or skills to really help you. This will definitely help you. And also if you're thinking about, you know what, I've got some skills and experience that I really want to turn into a business, and I just need tools that will actually help me to really start this business. Well, you're in the right place because this video would definitely help you start on that journey. I believe, like I said, for the next few years is really going to change. AI really going to disrupt many industries. I'm a kind of guy where over the years, I've have a good instinct on how things change and what direction the world is going to be headed. And believe me when I tell you, for the next 5 to 10 years, the world is going to change in a massive way and is already undergoing these changes. But those who actually are going to benefit from it are those who are actually aware of the times and are preparing themselves for the journey ahead. With the way things are going, businesses are not going to be done as usual. AI is going to disrupt many businesses. Many jobs that you're thinking away, safe haven, or I'm going to hold on to this for a long time, will be disrupted for the next few years. And this is a time where you, being aware, can actually prepare yourself. Instead of actually being run over, you can be ahead of the game and start preparing yourself right now. I believe this is the time where if you want to start a business, it's a good time to actually start implementing those skills and preparing yourself on that journey. And what I'm going to be sharing with you today is actually some foundational tools that will actually help to get your business off the ground. Like I said, obviously, I'm an accountant, and I believe in a way I can share with you some skills and ideas and templates that will actually help you start that business going. So come with me on the journey. So what we got here is actually I've got a template that I've created. And this is if you're starting off a self-employed business. What you need to do here from the setup page is to actually put in the name of the business that you want to start off with. Obviously, with time, you can change the business name as you want, but this is just to get you going. So I've got here the business name that I've got here is A Business, and below here is what you're going to put in the start date for the business when you're thinking of starting it. So you can choose from the drop down there what months you want to start it off. The start year, 2024, 2025, you put in the start year that you want. And then right next to it here, you have different categories. You have the income section, those incomes that you believe are going to be needed in your business. So I got, for example, bank interest, sales income, other incomes, loans, transfer from deposit. I would say in a way, keep this the same, don't change it. And right next to it is a payment method. Payment is how you're going to be making payments or receiving payments. I go ahead, the sections I go ahead is bank, cash, credit card, and transfers. I'll be explaining more on that later. But the main thing is to kind of like keep this the same as well. But the main ones that you can change, obviously, depending on your business expenses. So I have various expenses like accountancy, advertising, bank charges, bank interest, insurance, internet, etc. What you can do is you can come in there and change it to what you want. Put in there 15 categories. As you can amend or change this to whatever name you want it to be. Or if you want to increase the number of categories, you can email me or text me and I can amend it, the template to suit how many expenditures that you want. And then right next to it is the VAT rate. So depending on what country you're in, you can set the rate to the rates that applies in your country. So what where is 5%, 6%, 15%, 22%. Obviously, like I said, these are not set in stones. You can amend and change this to the rate that you think is suitable for you. And right here, if you're just starting as a business, as a self-employed business, you don't really need to worry about the opening balances there because you're just starting off. But if you're already an existing business and you just need a template that you want to use, you can actually use the opening balance to fill in what your current balance is in these various categories. The next spreadsheet that you're going to be looking at is the cash. Now, this is the one that you're going to be working on mainly. From the name that you've inputted from the setup, it's going to drop your name in here. Your year end is going to be picked up from the year end that you set from your setup details. Then it's going to tell you obviously what your start dates and the year end date is going to be. The first category here is payment. So these are all the expenditures that's going to be going out from your company. What you need to worry about is the section there that are graded out in gray. You need to fill those boxes in, and then the other boxes automated. They will be filled in as you load up your details in the gray section. At the top here, at the bank balance, cash balance, credit card balance, I can explain that as we go along. So what you need to do is, as you have your business, you need to input all your details, your expenditures as you go along. Now, for most business owners, obviously you have your own business, but also what happens at times, you might have an account for your self-employed business. But then as you're going along, you can spend your own money as well to actually keep the business going. So you might have a business account for your self-employed business, but then let's say you're somewhere, man, I need to pay for these expenses. I don't have access to the card that I normally use for the business. And then you use your own personal cash or credit card. This helps you to record those expenditures, and then you can locate them as you see fit. So what you see here, like I said, the bank is obviously your own main account that you're using for your self-employed business. The cash and money that you use personally that the business needs to pay you back. And the credit card, if you use your own credit card for the business expenditures and you need to be refunded, this helps you to kind of like know, okay, what did I spend on my card? What did I spend on a credit card? How much does business need to refund me? So like I said, what you need to do here is come in, put in your details, put in the date of your transactions, the details, what the expenditure is. So I'll go ahead, for example, accountancy fee, reference. You don't really need that in details. A VAT is if you have an expenditure and you think, okay, you know what, I got an invoice or bill for this expenditure. I need to claim the VAT on that. What you need to do is just come in there, choose the rate that you want that applies. If it's 5%, choose 5%. So like I said, the next one, you then choose the right box. So I can see whatever you've inputted in the setup box will be showing here. All you need to do is just enter the right category, and then you see other options there as well. Equipment, fixtures and fittings, transfer to deposit, drawings, VAT. Just choose whichever box relates to this expenditure. So obviously here I've got accountancy, so I would choose accountancy, and then whatever the amount is. So like I said, if I got 245, let me say for example 250. And how did I pay for this? If I pay directly from the bank of the business, I'll just say bank. If I use cash, it needs to be reimbursed with later. You just choose cash, and this will actually drop in the right category. Like I said, obviously, because you've chosen accountancy, then the next box, it will actually drop the figure in the accountancy box. But like you see here, the figure here is slightly different from the gross amount. Why? Because you have the VAT rate selected there, where when you select the VAT rate there, it will actually deduct automatically the VAT from the expenditure that you calculated. So if you can see, go further down, you can see VAT charge 1190. So it's deducted it from your expenditure here. So as you can see, you log in all your various expenditures. We got the next category here, 2nd April, social media, advertising. 150 payment was made from the bank. So we just put that in there, and then it would drop in the figure in the right category. What we have here as well, for example, we have 2nd April, to director repay loan. So what you can do, what can happen sometimes as well is the owner can actually give money to the company if the company is running short of money. So what you can do is you can actually, with this one, you can make payments to the owner. So you can make a loan to the owner. So like this one, for example, 500 a loan was made to the owner. So you actually select the owner loan account, put in the amount, bank, and then as you can see here, it goes to the owner loan account here. You can see here. What you need to be aware of is every time you put in an expenditure, this box right next to it, check, needs to be 0 on all the transactions. That needs to be 0. That means in a way you've allocated it correctly to the right boxes. All the expenditures is being paid. So like you see here, I just log in all the transactions. But the one thing you need to be aware of from this is transfers. So like I said, you have the various payment method here. You go bank, cash, credit card, and then transfer. As you can see here, transfer. So you'll be wondering, what is transfer? Obviously, transfer is when you move money from one account to the next account. Let's say, for example, your credit card. I'll just use that for example. So I made a payment from my bank, but the money was received from a credit card to the business bank account. That's what the transfer is for. And this, what you just need to be aware of, needs to be nil. So whatever you're moving from one account needs to be contra out in the other account. So this needs to be nil. So it will not affect any other expenditures here. It just lets you know, okay, money must move from one account to the next. Yeah. So that's what you need to be aware of there. And if you keep going down, you put in all your various expenditures, you allocate where the payment was made. And then the next one, at the bottom, is receipts. Receipts is similar to payments. All you need to do, log in your payment, put in the details that is relevant for you. If there's VAT that needs to be deducted from the transaction, like I said, put in the right rate. Choose the right category. It's a sales, income, bank interest, other income, loan, transfer from deposit. So like here, this is a sales income. So we just choose sales income. The amount is entered here. So let's say, for example, 1600. We'll put 1600 in here. That's the figure. So like you can see here, 1600 sales income. Like I said, it's slightly different. Why? Because we've selected the VAT rate. So that means in a way, VAT needs to be deducted against this amount, which it is done automatically. So you just same principle on the receipt side, put in the details in the gray area, choose the right categories, and the rest will be automated. As you can see here, then you have the bank reconciliation. As you enter your figures, this will show you the balance on your bank must match the balance in your bank account. So if it's got 386.47, that means that's what your bank accounts should be showing. The next two figures there, the cash and the credit card, and money could be owed to you by the business, which you can claim later from the business. The other thing I was going to say as well is, say, for example, you took out cash. You can use this to actually record that as well. So say, for example, we took out 500 pounds was taken out cash. So you took money from the bank and put it in cash. Now, you can use this to actually record what the expenditures were. So I took out 500. Okay, maybe I spent Sunday expenses 150, spend 250 on travel expenses. This will help you to kind of like see, okay, what expenditures do I need to net off against the amounts that are deducted on this day? And you can just keep an eye on it and make the necessary adjustments. So like I said, you got the payments, you got the receipts. At the bottom here, you got your bank reconciliation. The main thing you need to worry about is the bank that needs to reconcile to your bank account. And then right next to it are just reconciliations. You don't need to worry about, they just automated. This one here just shows all your receipt summary. This needs to be always nil at the bottom here. The VAT form here just tells you all your VAT on your sales, VAT on your purchases, and what amounts needs to be paid. So it says net VAT due. That's the amount that you need to pay if you're making payment to the government. And then the VAT control account shows you what your total sales, VAT on sales were, what the total sales and purchases were, what you paid, because if you see from the top here, any payment that you make will go to the VAT paid. That will be taken into account. And then this tells you what balance is yet to be paid to the government. The payment summary, again, also this one just reconciles all your expenditures. This needs to be 0 as well. Yeah. And then at the bottom there, it just gives you a note that you need to be aware of. So the first one says the bank payment and the bank receipt column should be an exact mirror image of your company bank statements. Like I said, obviously, all your transactions need to match what is in your bank statements. The note 2 says analyze all figures in the bank payment and bank receipt column to the appropriate column across the pages. So obviously we've done that. We selected the right expenditures. So yeah, so we're okay with that. 3, it says when you have completed each transaction, please ensure that the check tick a digit on the right of the spreadsheet is always 0. So like I said earlier, once you enter every transaction, make sure this section here is always 0. If it's not 0, that means you need to double check your figures and make sure that everything is entered correctly. Just like on the receipt side as well, the check here must be always 0. Yeah, so that one is correct, which we've done. And then the 5th one says, when selected transfer as a payment or receipt method, ensure that the debit and the credit amount are equal and the balance is 0. So that's the example that we gave earlier. If you choose a transfer category, make sure that the debit and the credit always match and they're equal to 0. And the last one is like what we said earlier, only filling details in the gray area, which we were doing. And okay, so the next thing you need to do then is you need to move on to the next session that talks about deposit account. So deposit account, as they say, if you have like a savings account or deposit account. In here, you can see here in the cash to deposit. When you put the figures in here, it will auto be picked up here. So this one shows you all the total receipts and transfers. The only thing you need to input on this side is if you have a bank interest, you need to manually kind of like bring those in, like the arrow says that input deposit account interest above. So that's what you need to worry about. Just input the interest. Everything else is automated. And then you move to the next category, which is your profit and loss account and your balance sheet details. So as you put in your figures from your cash book, this will be automatically automated. It will pick up the figures. So you got all your income at the top there and all your expenditures, shows you the total expenditures, what your net profit is, drawings, any money that you've drawn out of the business. Obviously, this needs to be against your profits. And then any retained profits at the end of that. So this one shows you what the figures are. And then on the other side, shows you your balance sheets. So you got your debtors, your bank balance. This shows you what the figure needs to be. This one says, obviously, this needs to be 0. So these figures must always match. If it's not 0, that means there's something wrong with your figures that you need to look at. And then the next spreadsheet is your trial balance. This lists all your transactions in the right category. And this as well must always be 0. So this, I think, is a helpful template that you can use, I believe, as you're starting up as a business. You don't have money to be able to buy all these various software that are going to be costing you extra money. But if you want to start, if you start now, you just say that you just need a template to get me going. This template is actually the one you need. I'll be making this template available on my website, which is going to be details will be showing below. But thank you for joining me today. I hope this was very helpful to you. Let me know how you find it. And also let me know as well if I need to make changes to this to make it more useful to you. So once again, thank you for joining me and I wish you all the best on your journey. See you same time next time. Take care.